In the up in the upper left-hand corner of the New York Times, the headline is, "In secret letter, Obama offered deal to Russia." And the deal is this. Hey, Russia, you lean on Iran. Get them to stop building that nuke program, and we won't do the missile defense in Eastern Europe.
We don't, as a country, recognize evil anymore. We can't name it. We can't look at it. We got to name the monster under the bed. Give it a name, and you'll stop being afraid of it. The name in this particular case is Vladimir Putin.
This is a video response to many YouTubers congratulating Glenn Beck and Fox News for taking sides with the truth movement / patriot movement / reality of our country. I find your perception on this matter to be superficial at least, to downright annoying at most. Remember, it was brave Americans like you who federally trespassed to obtain footage of these camps while the mainstream media ignored the citizen reporters and their reports. Now Glenn Beck, with the approval and direction from his producers, decides now's the time for the Fox network to finally bring up the dusty story of the numerous FEMA camps around the country. A phenomenon that apparently they feel they can't ignore anymore. They chose the program Fox and Friends, I believe, because it's oriented to a wider audience of both men and women viewers. The intent of addressing FEMA camps in the context of the preceding conversation is to lump it in with an international strategic objective, an objective that may prove to be only obtainable militarily. Remember that the goal of this interview is to hijack the concern of many Americans over the unlawful use of these camps and win them over to a new solution.
Putin is not a good man. He is not our friend. We should not be negotiating with a guy who is helping Iran build it.
Yeah, but don't we need Russia? We need Russia on our side if we're going to actually be able to deter Iran, don't we?
We need Russia to be on our side, but we don't give away the defense.
U.S. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice and Polish Foreign Minister Radek Sikorski signed the long-negotiated agreement on Wednesday to place elements of a U.S. missile defense base in Poland. Rice says the deal will help guard against new threats of the 21st century and deepen the defense cooperation between the United States and Poland.
In troubled times, the most important thing is to have friends, but it is more important to have friends who share your values and your aspirations and your dreams.
Under the agreement, 10 U.S. interceptor missiles will be placed in Poland. The deployment is part of a broader missile defense system that includes a guidance radar in the Czech Republic. U.S. officials say the shield is necessary to guard against potential threats from Iran or North Korea and is not aimed at Russia. Again, Secretary Rice.
Missile defense, of course, is aimed at no one. It is in our defense that we do this.
Still, Moscow has long criticized the plan and calls it a threat to Russia's security. A senior Russian general warned that Poland risks making itself a target by signing the agreement. Observers say Russia could develop countermeasures against what it sees as the possibility of an offensive strike.
Ale czemu u nas? Niech może faktycznie porozmawiają z Putinem. Tam są takie tereny, gdzie na tysiącach kilometrów kwadratowych nie ma ludzi. To może tam to zrobić.
Od rakiet to jest najlepsze miejsce, również miejsce lokalizacji radaru w Czechach. Podobnie, ono jest poza zasięgiem rakiet irańskich. Takie są informacje ze strony amerykańskiej.
Look, I had a head of state tell me 6 months ago, a head of state over in that area, he said to me, when I met with President Bush, he said to me, and this was on the day that he just got out, and he was shaken, and I know this man, and he was shaken.
Beck often changes directions in this conversation, so it always stays on an emotional and not factual level. Also note his perpetual use of red herrings in his reporting. A red herring is the raising of an irrelevant issue in a conversation to make a point.
And he said, your president said to me today, he said, he was very, and he was searching for a word, apocalyptic. And I said, like the four horsemen of the apocalypse, that kind of apocalypse? Yeah, the right word? And he said, yes. He said, Your president left me with this statement: we will be there by your side if we survive. If we survive. What are we doing abandoning people that are on our side, that
You're talking about Eastern Europe, too, and they have stood by us in everything we've done. The Poles and the Czech Republic have been sold out with this letter.
They understand freedom. We don't even understand freedom anymore. We are a country that is headed towards socialism, totalitarianism, beyond your wildest imagination. I have to tell you, I'm doing a story tonight.
God, he's going right for the battle chicken. No.
That I wanted to debunk these FEMA camps. I'm tired of hearing. You know about them?
Sure.
I'm tired of hearing. I wanted to debunk them. Well, we've now for several days done research on them. I can't debunk them.
A note about listening. The left hemisphere of your brain is where speech and text are processed. It does not absorb information immediately. Rather, it is analyzed and then stored, acted upon, or disregarded. It's a momentary process, but in a conversation, such as this, conducted by 5 yapping people, there are no pauses, so many viewers will only process the main elements: evil, Russia, Iran, and FEMA camps. If you don't believe that this is what takes place, think of the structure of your average joke. Jokes are usually set up, so the listener is thinking along an expected path. The joke becomes funny when the expected path is altered unexpectedly, which is usually the punchline. There's typically a pause between the end of the joke and the laughs, because the mind has to pause, review the information, recognize they've been misinformed, and whammy, humor ensues.
And we're going to carry the story tonight.
I don't know anything about him. So
it is our government. If you trust our government, it's fine. If you have any kind of fear that we might be headed towards a totalitarian state, look out, buckle up. There's something going on in our country that is ain't good.
All right, something else you're going to talk about coming up next.
I know. I'm wondering if I should go
Gretchen,
under the
do
couch
not
again.
get off the couch. Stay above the table.
Gretchen,
What?
name the monster in the dark and have no fear. There are more of us than there are of them. We just have to be honest and open about these things.
And guess what?
And we can
our new
solve
Secretary
them.
of State just went and shook the hands of another voice of evil, and that is Syria, who have never come clean on killing the...
Name evil. Stop. America has got to stand up.
Were ruined, were then trampled by tanks.
Mr. President, excuse me, you are saying that Georgia started this?
Yes, indeed, there is no doubt about it.